Welcome back to the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. So glad that you're back here with us once again. And I welcome you to an incredible episode here. And it will bring you information that will create insights, new information that you can take in to look at how you can create health and wellness from the inside out. And this is a nurturing space truly that offers, the opportunity to celebrate your own courage, your own care for yourself and real transformation. And today I'm so honored to share with you Laura Cross. And she is truly a dynamic self-care coach. She is an Air Force veteran and travel entrepreneur and voice wellness innovator. I really welcome you into the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. And it's through White Sands self-care and Mindful Mondays, which I love. Laura helps people truly detoxify, connect, and reclaim their joy by honoring their body, the journey, and the community. So if you're longing for more clarity, health, or holistic support, this episode will inspire those new possibilities for you. So Laura, thank you for coming on my Love Inspired Leadership Pod.
Oh, absolutely, Carolyn. Thanks for having me. And I love the name of your podcast and everything, and I love what you do. And I think we're just so aligned and on the same mission. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, I believe we are. And, I love connecting with people that have the same depth of purpose and passion to live this life that we get to in serving people and supporting them in their mental health, their physical health. Well, and for me too, their spiritual health. So thank you. So Laura, what first led you from military service and travel into the world of self-care and holistic wellness? Because here's military service. So what was it that got you on this path and trajectory to what you're so purposeful and passionate about right now?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's so much on the opposite, on the opposite end. I loved the time that I had in the military. It's where I met my husband. But after we got married, Desert Storm started to calm down and I was offered an early out. So I had separated because our career fields were totally opposite. I was an aircraft electrician. I worked on fighters, F-15s and F-16s. He was ground radio. We are opposite ends of the flight line. And if anyone knows anything about the military, having a family is not their mission. We always joke and say if they wanted you to have a family, they'd issue you one. Our job is to serve, protect, defend. And so the chances of you being sent to the same place and still be both serving is very, very slim. And so I separated so that way, wherever we went, I could travel with him. So, but I lost my husband. My husband passed away December 21st of 2004 when he was 36. It was a year and a half before he retired. We were laughing at lunch and he was dead by 10 o'clock. And that was, I was 37. I had just turned 37. So it was a huge, a rude awakening, a huge slap in the face of reality. And that's kind of when I learned life was too precious to be spending my time answering to somebody else. After that, 14 months after that, I had spent time in 4 different hospitals, 3 funerals. I had had enough. I was kind of done. And I've always loved traveling. When I was younger, if someone asked me what I wanted to do, I wanted to be an airline stewardess because I love flying. So I was just, I always thought I'd be an airline stewardess. I love flying. I love traveling. I love seeing other places. And so one of the first things I did when I started to put my life back together was realize that I didn't want to be working for someone else, and I started travel. So I am still White Sands Premier Travel because I love travel. I've been there for 18 years, and it is still a very big part of your self-care. So that I will never get rid of. I wouldn't care if I had a team of people to work with or not. I use it myself all the time, and I love being able to learn about different places before I go there. It's almost like a Calgon take me away to go do a training and find out about different places you can see and go. So it's something I've always loved. So that I never give up. But before my husband passed away, I have been through bulge discs, needle injections in the spine, every muscle relaxer, painkiller you can think of. And that's what they did. They kept throwing stuff at you. Then this one doesn't work. Oh, let's throw another one at you. Let's do this. Let's start. I put on so much weight from having that, not being able to move. I was never truly out of pain. It was barely, like, sometimes making it manageable. Nothing was fixing it. And it wasn't until after my husband passed away, they did put me on antidepressants for a year. And I think that helped me to think of things differently. But I had stopped all the painkillers and muscle relaxers. I started realizing what all of those side effects had done to our relationship, to me, and why I was feeling certain ways. Felt like I was just, hit my peak, fell off. There was just, I just, didn't want to be touched, didn't want to do nothing because you were just so afraid of being in so much pain anymore. And never touched him since. I will not go back. I've learned about massages. I've learned about acupuncture, just flat out, moving and taking care of yourself, because I was always the person that put everyone first before myself. I took care of my husband. I would take care of our dogs because I'm a mom of dogs. I'm a dog mom. I've always had dogs for kids. All of that comes first. I've always put myself last. And it takes its toll. It takes its toll on you, and it takes its toll on your body. And so I started realizing, for one, that you cannot fix and help everybody else, especially if you're not helping yourself. You have got to be in a place. And so I started learning about self-care. And then years and years, kept going by. I kept kind of hearing about different things. And literally, it's been about 5 years now. 5 years ago, I belonged to a big group in Denver, and when I lived in Colorado, and they were nothing but holistic health and wellness people. Because I had joined the group as their travel agent, right? And then I started learning all about this stuff. Oh, but this all goes together. Travel, self-care, there's wearable technology. There's so many different modalities out there and so many different things we can do. And the more I learned about them and got to use them, I'm like, I have never felt better. I don't have all those constant aches and pains and everything. And it really changed my life. And I figured if I could do it, then I could help others do the same.
That is so beautiful. And when it comes to women, this is an area that we can all stretch. The last 5 years of my life, I feel like a student of learning self-care, because I think our role in the family, in business, in society, in whatever communities we serve is giving.
Yeah.
And there's a certain length of time when you start realizing, I think I better start looking in the mirror and telling, and so it's a simple step-by-step, but I think it's a true blessing that you got involved in that group, that you had an opportunity to experience different health and wellness opportunities and heal yourself through those gifts that you received from that. And it also fueled your purpose, because when we go through personal transformations, we want to share that with the world, because it made such a difference for us and changed our lives. So this self-care I'm so passionate about. I have my morning rituals that are non-negotiables. You'd like to meet with me? Oh, that's yes, we can do it after this time. So they say, no. I said, yes. And the more that I have incorporated daily disciplines to honor and respect my mental health, my spiritual health, my physical health, and it's changed my life completely. I have vitality all day, and I do a lot all day. And, I just think this absolute podcast right in here, and I want the audience to listen and think within yourself, what can you do yourself to take on this responsibility? It's a discipline of self-care. So your journey.
It did seem like that at first, because at first I thought, you're supposed to be doing this, and that. And you start a little at a time, because I told people, I said, I have my calendar's actually blocked out for like 3 hours. And then actually I can cut that back because I'm waking up even earlier, but like you can't book with me till 10 in the morning because I'm not done doing whatever I want to do. If I want to, I will put something in there, but it'll be my choice. It's not that somebody can schedule and pop in. But when I first started, I'm like, okay, I barely do this, then I do that. And I was like, okay, well, now I have a half hour of this. And it started getting longer and longer. Yeah. And so I was getting up anywhere between 5:36. I have not had to set an alarm.
Me neither.
I don't set alarms. I don't have to. The only time I might set alarm is like if I'm going to do a road trip and I want to leave by 3:30 or something, I'll set it. But almost always I am awake before that alarm goes off, because in my mind, I know where I want to go. My pup is now getting up earlier and earlier. So most of the times now I am up and awake by 20 to 5 and 5. So it's not even 5:36 anymore. But I get so much done for myself and for other things. I feel like I get more done before noon than I ever did before.
Well, me too. And because my list grew from 3 things to 4 things to 5 things to 6 things to 7 things. So the reason it grew, because I saw the value, because I experienced the value. So that becomes the inspiration for me. And I'm so happy that you get up early too. So do I. And, there's nobody that's coming to rescue us, to fix our health, and so I just really invite the audience to listen to what we're saying and just choose one single thing that you can do in the morning for yourself. I love my morning journal, 1 page, and I start it with Dearest God, and I just free write, and it inspires me. And then that turned into a recording. So I just have to say, just open the door to this power of possibility to work from the inside out is what Laura's inspiring us to do here. And just choose one thing that you can incorporate in the mornings for you. Okay. And Laura, your journey is really a testament, honestly, of what's possible when we truly honor ourselves and our and both our struggles and our spark. Because, you faced this health crisis, and then you found answers and you took intentional action. That's what it takes. So let's talk about next how this turned the lessons that you've learned into community and service.
So for me, everything is about building a holistic, judgment-free community. And it all stems from losing, my husband and everything. I had great family, great support that were always there for me. I love them to death. The problem is they always want to fix you, just like I used to always want to fix everybody else, or they think they know you or what you need. And, you get caught up in all these things. It's the only reason why I did go see a shrink that they offered for me to go talk to, is because it was someone I could talk to that didn't know me about that. I only went, though, 5 times out of the 6 visits, because he wanted me to write my husband a letter telling him goodbye, and I wasn't about to do that. So I just did not go back. But I had a place where I could just talk to somebody that did not know me, didn't have any preconceived, notions. And and it's hard sometimes, but it's changing your mindset. It's changing your perspective. I just want people to treat people like decent human beings. We all have different perspectives. What's going to work for me is not necessarily going to work for you, but that doesn't mean I might not know somebody that you could resonate with that could help you. So for me, it was about building this community that's going to provide resources, education, collaboration, connections. It's not a competition. There's so many people, we're so taught in school, this whole SWOT analysis, who's your competition? I told people, I don't have a competition. I am uniquely me. They're either going to resonate with me or they're not. And if they're not, and I can connect them with someone else, great. At least they're getting help, because I truly believe together we can do more. So I do everything from collaboration, not from competition. So
that's beautiful.
I don't work that way.
Well, that's beautiful. And the invitation is for all of us to do that, I think. And we're not meant to do this journey of life alone. That is my absolute stand. And that coming together is far, far better in an environment of respect, of compassion, of acceptance, of curiosity, wonder, and love for each other. So can you tell us a little bit about the Mindful Mondays? Because I love this. Mindful Mondays. Imagine starting your week. So good. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so that was it. That kind of came about in a funny way. I built a White Sand Self-Care community group on Facebook. And again, it's everything I do. Like I said, it's about resources, education, and that creating that community. And I just started by doing little interviews with people, because I think when people can tell a little bit, at least about their story or their struggles, how they got over them and how they can help others to get over them, that you can resonate better with them and connect with them rather than seeing a profile picture. This is what I do. Connect with me. And so that's what I was doing was interviews. Everybody kept calling it a podcast. I said, it's not a podcast. It's just an interview. And then while I was in that group, because it turned out to just be a huge business group after over a couple of years, instead of nothing but holistic health and wellness. And a lady there had said, did you ever think about having a TV show? No. No, I did not. So, long story short, that's how Mindful Mondays came along. So I've been running that for over 2 years. And I tell people it's mindfulness, it's self-care. Everybody instantly goes to, oh, woo, woo, and whatever. You can call it whatever you want, but it's more than that, because mindfulness and self-care is in all realms of your life. It's business, it's spiritual, it's physical, it's emotional, it's everything. We always have that thing where people like to say work is work and home is home. I got news for you. If you are really upset and things are not going well at work, I don't care how much you're trying to come home and say, hi, how's everything doing? It's in your demeanor. It's in your body. People pick up on it and they sense it, and it affects your family life. So everything is together. Everything fits together. It's not separate.
No, it isn't. It's all connected. And energy is everything. And, one of the things that I've created is to support people to just drop the mask, just to be real, be authentic, share who you really are. So if things are great, fabulous. And if things are not, feel safe enough. Have the circle of people around you that you can go share your truth and feel safe enough to do that, because it's that connection, that collaboration, as you said earlier, to feel seen and heard and respected is where we get answers, solutions, opportunities, next steps. So, I think that the world truly needs this that you're speaking of more now than ever. And for people to feel that they can connect in a community or a culture, like my personal network that we're both in. I mean, we love it. It's the most incredible, authentic connection of people and gives us an opportunity to know who we really are before anything else. So thank you for that. And okay, here's a great question. I love this question. So what's one boundary, mindset shift, or detox ritual you recommend for anyone feeling overwhelmed at this particular point in time in their life?
I would say if I was feeling overwhelmed, for me, and this may work for you or may not, but I think it's helpful for everybody because it helped me to figure out who I really was. But it's to step away from all of the noise, leave the phones, all the negative people, everything around. Go do wherever you feel best. Like for me, it can be sitting outside watching the critters, or maybe it's listening to certain tones, or, meditation, something where you can get in your own zone and you can go inside and figure out what lights you up and who you are, not what everybody thinks you should be or thinks you should be doing, because who cares? It's not their life. It is yours. And just because people don't understand what you're doing doesn't mean what you're doing is wrong. You just haven't found your tribe. And when you find your tribe and your community that support you, that makes a whole world of difference. But you got to figure out who you are.
And it's a journey. It is. It's not a single leap and bound. It is small steps, step by step, and making that decision, being decided that you're going to go down that path.
It's not to say that path's not going to turn, or it might not make a change while you're going, but
exactly.
Start on what feels right for you.
Yeah, and I love this position of just making that decision to shut everything else out and go within. I have a phrase that I use all the time. It's go within to win. So it's creating that silence. It's creating that space for grace to be able to hear what your own internal voice is saying. Like you said, not what's happening externally or expectations, right, or how people are telling you to live your life. It's to go within and listen and ask those really important open-ended questions. So what is most important to me right now? How can I navigate this situation in a way that I can honor myself and others? So, I love it. And in my younger years, I spent way too much time being busy, Laura, and I'm sure you did too. And as I have become more mature in life, I take that time. And mine is the morning. I spend 4 to 5 hours between, exactly the same as you. And I do a lot of listening. And I think it creates freedom. What do you think?
I think it does, especially when you listen more to yourself. When you spend a lifetime of following or doing what you think you're supposed to do, just because you can do it well and it's making ends meet. If you're not truly happy, it's not the path you're supposed to be on. And when, like I said, that's why I say when it lights you up, and then there's so many things you can make your own business out of. If you just figure out what you're passionate about, I guarantee you can figure out how to turn it into a business and work for yourself.
I absolutely agree. And I think being an entrepreneur is the greatest personal growth, professional growth adventure you can ever go on. It's also the most meaningful and the most inspirational. That's what I find, and you really get to know yourself.
Yeah. And if you really wanted to go and explode and take new levels, ditch the perfectionism.
Oh,
everybody always called me a perfectionist. I always told them I call it pride. You can call it whatever you want. But the problem is that perfectionism came from trying to prove myself all the time. And when you learn you don't have anything to prove and you embrace being perfectly imperfect, you know what? People will connect with you more. It's more authentic and you can be yourself and people can grow with you. I'm not here to be some polished person. I'm a person just like anybody else. Like you said, we try to stay positive. That doesn't mean we don't have our times when things are going to come, but it makes you real. And so
human.
Yeah.
We're human beings, not human perfectionist doings. And, I call myself a recovering perfectionist. I mean, I'm actually on the other side now, I think. But I still feel myself sometimes, honestly, Laura, I do, that I want to just get into that perfectionistic mode of preparing too much, planning too much, overthinking. And that's when I call myself out and I say, okay, wait a minute here. Slow the bus down, girl. No, just trust the process, trust yourself, trust in the universe. And every time I do, it works out incredible.
It does.
You're absolutely right. So, as a community builder and advocate, how do you see your work shifting wellness for, say, veterans, families, and beyond that?
Well, from what I've noticed from some people, that it's bringing awareness to the other things that are out there, the options that they have out there. And when they don't feel judged, they feel safe and they can explore and they know they have a community of people, it really changes everything. And it is a wonderful feeling to see somebody get like a whole new lease on life or feel like they have a whole new lease. And so for me, that's kind of what it's all about. I always tell people, even if it's just one person that I can help change and get there. I mean, I found this path through tragedy. I would like people to discover the path without having to go through a tragedy to realize it, because that will really change your perspective. When something tragic happens, people's perspectives and perceptions change. Sometimes they don't always stay changed. Sometimes it's temporary, but other people that really learn from it will stay changed from it.
Well, and it's a self-determined change too, and what I love about life, you might hear a message from something I say, you might hear a message from something Laura says, or maybe you've heard similar messages 25 times, but there's a certain time that it lands.
Yes.
You think, yeah, well, you know what? I'm going to take action here. Yes, it's time. It's time that I take on this responsibility for myself. It's time. And that's really inspirational when you get to witness someone change their mind about their health, their self-care, and the way that they're deciding to manage themselves and to be open to learn and receive and transform that. It's so inspirational. I know it is for you because it is for me to see that transformational shift. And when their life changes, and it's so wonderful knowing that you're just a little seed in that journey of trajectory to have more vitality in life.
Yeah. And I knew mine was changing, especially since I moved to Missouri. I changed my environment. I changed everything. And I knew mine was changing and I could, feel the changes. I didn't always know that other people were noticing it until other people started noticing. They're like, no, I want you to come talk to these people. So tell us about what you've been going. I'm like, okay, sure. I mean, I believe in being transparent. If something I've gone through or something I've done can help somebody, yeah, let's do it. My mistakes were mine to make. It's not for anyone to judge. And if they want to, well, that's fine, but that's on you. It's not me, Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think, Laura, you're living your legacy of being in service to people with self-care. It's such a gift to us all. So thank you for sharing your story and shining your light on other people to support them to have the same opportunity that you've had to transform your own life, because it's so meaningful and inspirational for all of us to hear and to witness. So thank you for sharing your wisdom, your tools, and your purpose, passion, and joy, because I can see it and feel it. And anything else you want to say as a last comment
Oh, well, yeah.
Share with our audience.
There are some fun tools and there's some amazing things that you can do out there. I love my AO voice scan. But what I would tell people.
Okay, what is that? Share that with us.
Okay, so the AO voice, I always tell people that your body is the best MRI tool you will ever have. And you just have to know how to listen to it. The AO voice scan, the AO stands for alpha omega, before and after. It takes Rife frequencies. It takes Nikola Tesla's technology, Albert Einstein, all that technology. It's all together in an app. So, and I can do it for people over Zoom. It takes 10 seconds of your voice, because every time we speak, you are putting out thousands of vibrations and frequencies, and it finds your 3 highest, your 1 lowest. It creates audio files to bring you into balance, to bring those 3 down, the 1 up. It will tell you what foods are causing inflammation, what's are causing dysfunction. It'll tell you if your cholesterol's high. It'll tell you where your chakras, your meridians are at. It kicks out hundreds of pages. It's like a check engine light for your body, head to toe. And didn't have to get stuck with a needle. You didn't have to get dyes put in you. It will tell you what is going on. And I will tell you how accurate it is. And I even did it because when I fell, I wanted to make sure I didn't break or fracture this, because it was lumped up. And I still can't bend it all the way, but it's got some sacs of fluids. It's still healing. I colored my hair, and I don't like toxin anything. I did do natural, but I needed to color it, and it wouldn't take. So I did go back to the L'Oreal. I scanned myself the next day, and I got some of it in my eye, which had burned a little bit. Next morning, it said hair toxins, damage to my right eye. Just from my voice, it knew exactly what I had done with my body. When I first did it originally, it knew that I used to really clench my teeth at night and was grinding my teeth, because it showed you an MRI picture of a skull and pointed, and it can do a 3D image. It can show you just like full, like almost like MRI-like images. And it's not to diagnose people, but it's to help show you the root cause of what's causing your pain, your discomfort, and your disease, because there's a lot of things that affect that. Your emotions, previous traumas, all kinds of stuff that you went through are causing the discomfort and the pain in your body.
I agree. Wow.
It's cool. It really lets your body talk to you.
That is extremely fascinating. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Sure. Yeah.
That is so interesting. So for our listeners, you have an incredible opportunity to connect with Laura's community. And do you want to share with us what their next steps can be to connect with you?
Yeah, I would encourage everybody, if you go to Facebook and you put in groups and you put in White Sand Self-Care, I do have the White Sand Self-Care community, and I encourage anyone to join that, share who they are, what they do. It's not you're not allowed to post here. I want people to have those resources and education. So if you're offering master classes or different things that can help people, or you have events or summits you want to invite them to, put it in there. Because the more we can connect and do, the better we are. You can go to my website, whitesandselfcare.com. You can connect with me there. You can also find out about my TV show if you want to be a guest on the TV show. Would love to have you. So that's a possibility also. Or hit me up on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube. You can go to So I am on e360tv.com, but my TV show, if you go to YouTube at Mindful Mondays with Laura Cross, that's probably the easiest way to find it. And you can find any episode you want. You can find from the very first one where I was like really uptight and worried about things until I ditched perfectionism, and whoop, you got a whole new host that came out of that. So people can watch me grow.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love how much you're contributing. I mean, way to go. I just feel proud of you. And I love that it came from a place of pain that you've turned into purpose to make a difference in the world. And it's an honor. So thank you for coming on the Love Inspired Leadership podcast. And for all the listeners, you also have an opportunity to step into and explore my 21-day above the line living opportunity, which is 21 days of a 2 to 3 minute recording, reflections, journal prompts to support you in continuing down this path of honoring yourself and self-care, mental health, physical health, spiritual health. It all comes together, as Laura mentioned earlier. So you'll receive that as well. And also, here's my question to the audience. What is one act of self-care you'll choose this week to express your own personal leadership and love for self? So thank you, Laura, and we'll see you next time on the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. Take good care.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on the Love Inspired Leadership Podcast. If today's episode stirred something in your soul, share it with someone who's ready to aim higher. Keep holding your vision, anchor in your truth, and take intentional, inspired action, because love is all there is.
Hey, I'm Michelle Abraham, founder of the High Vibe Podcast Network, and we are honored to have Carolyn Cooper's Love Inspired Leadership show as part of our network family. For more inspiring shows like this one, visit highvibepodcastnetwork.com, and don't forget to grab your free gifts from our hosts in the gift folds. Till then, stay high vibe and keep sharing your life.